In every room you walk into, in every conversation you have, someone is in control. The question is, will it be you? We live in a world where influence rules. It's not about who is strongest, smartest, or even most deserving. It's about who understands the hearts and minds of others, and knows how to play the right chords to make them dance. Let's begin at the foundation, human nature. People are predictable. We like to think we are complex, but we run on fear, desire, pride, and the need for belonging. If you learn to read these emotions, if you study what excites people, what they dread, what they want others to think of them, you hold the strings of their decisions, observe carefully. The loudest man may be the most insecure. The obedient may quietly crave power. Everyone has a mask. Your job is not to believe it. Your job is to see beneath it. Control begins there, understanding, but understanding alone is not enough. You must shape perception. It's not truth that rules people. It's what they believe to be true. If they see you as wise, you are wise. If they see you as righteous, your actions, no matter how dark, will be interpreted through that lens. So control your image. Speak less than you know. Make your silence loud. Let others project onto you what they need to believe. Be the mirror that reflects their ideal. But never confuse image with weakness. Power does not always need to shout. The most dangerous minds are not the ones that command with fists, but the ones who make you believe it was your idea all along. The art of manipulation lies in invisibility. Give people the illusion of choice while guiding them exactly where you want. Plant ideas like seeds in their mind. Let them grow roots until they can no longer tell where the idea came from, only that they feel it's their own. There is no shame in strategy. Influence is not evil. It is a tool, a blade in the hands of a surgeon or a tyrant. What you do with it defines you, but make no mistake, the world is moved by those who know how to use it. Be patient. Control is not taken by force. It is cultivated, one gesture at a time, one favor granted, one fear calmed, one truth twisted. People will not notice the strings you pull if you pull them slowly, gently, consistently. Learn to listen more than you speak. Let people reveal their weaknesses with their own words. Let them show you where to enter, where to press, where to whisper. And when the moment comes, when they finally lean on you, trust you, need you, then you own them. Not with chains, but with ideas, with loyalty, with a feeling that life without you is riskier than life with you. Now, understand this. Your power cannot remain if it is not fed. You must always evolve. People tire of stories, of saviors, of leaders. If you wish to remain in control, you must change shape like smoke. Be what they need next, not what they needed yesterday. Anticipate the shift before it happens. Make people feel that you are the answer before they even ask the question. And most importantly, never let them see you bleed. Weakness, whether real or perceived, invites chaos. But if you master yourself, your emotions, your impulses, your fears, then no one can touch you. To control others, you must first conquer the battlefield of your own mind. Discipline is not optional. It is your armor. By the time others realize what you've done, it will be too late. They will not call it manipulation. They will call it leadership, vision, charisma, and they will thank you for it. But control is not a destination. It is a dance. You will face opposition. You will be doubted. People will try to wrest the influence from your hands. Do not resist them with raw defiance. Instead, absorb, redirect. Use their energy. When someone attacks your character, thank them for their honesty, then twist the knife. Publicly take their criticism and claim it made you stronger. Now you are not wounded. You are reborn, a leader shaped by adversity. Let every attack become your stage. And yes, the masses are ruled not by reason, but by rhythm. Learn to pace your influence like a drumbeat. Build tension, offer release. Let them feel your presence even when you say nothing. Master timing, because the right word at the wrong moment is a waste. But the right word at the right moment can change the course of loyalty, fear, even love. You see, every person is an empire of emotion. They have gates and guards and secret halls. But once you're inside, once you've mapped their fears and desires, you are not just influencing their decisions. You are writing their future, and the most powerful form of control. Make them believe they're free. Now let us take this even deeper. To control people, one must begin with an unshakable understanding of human nature. Without it, every move you make is guesswork, every strategy a shot in the dark. At the core of all influence lies a predictable pattern of emotions, desire, fear, pride, shame, hope, and insecurity. These forces, though intangible, drive every choice, belief, and loyalty. People think they are moved by facts, but they are moved by feelings. The facts they accept are merely those that align with what they want to feel is true. Understand this, and you will begin to see how malleable the human mind truly is. Start by observing. People reveal themselves constantly, though they try to hide behind performance. Listen not to their words alone, but to their tone, to what they repeat, to what they avoid. Fear always leaks. Pride always flares. Every person wants something: validation, safety, revenge, control, love. And if you can locate the exact emotional hunger within someone, you can feed it, or starve it, at will. This is not guesswork. This is a psychological map, and the signs are always present. A man who interrupts often is not confident. He's desperate to be heard. A woman who flatters everyone might fear being overlooked. What they show is the mask. What they hide is the key. Most people are walking contradictions. They seek freedom, but also want to be told what to do. They crave power, yet fear responsibility. They want to feel special, but not alone. These tensions are exploitable, but only if you observe with neutrality. Do not judge the irrationality of others. Use it. Their inconsistencies are openings. If someone desires to be seen as virtuous, you can offer them chances to display morality, subtly guiding them into decisions you favor while they believe they're acting from their own conscience. If someone fears looking weak, you can present your suggestion as a test of their strength, and they will follow you to protect their image. Control is not achieved by overpowering others. It is achieved by making their decisions feel like necessities. When you understand what people value most, what they will fight for, sacrifice for, even betray for, you have access to their behavioral core. For some, it's money. For others, reputation, family, status, or the approval of a group. People wear these values like invisible armor, find it, press on it, promise to protect it, or threaten to expose it. Either will give you leverage because their greatest attachments are also their greatest vulnerabilities. And remember, people want to feel understood more than they want to understand. If you can mirror someone's internal world back to them, if you can describe their pain or desire better than they can articulate it themselves, they will trust you. They will begin to see you not just as intelligent, but as right. This is how you seed influence, by becoming the voice that makes people feel known. It disarms skepticism. They start to listen not because you're loud, but because you seem to get it. And once they believe that, they'll let you guide them almost anywhere. Understanding human nature also means knowing how people respond to pressure. Under stress, logic collapses, emotion takes over. In chaos, people look for certainty. Be the calm in their storm, and you will be their anchor. Be the storm itself, and you can force them to cling to whatever shelter you offer. Fear paralyzes, hope motivates. Shame isolates, praise bonds. Every emotional response has a behavioral shadow. Master those shadows, and you will never need to demand loyalty. People will give it willingly, even blindly. Another truth: people are easily influenced by social proof. They do what others are doing, not because it's right, but because it feels safe. Loneliness is more terrifying than error. If you position your message as aligned with the crowd, most will follow just to avoid standing out. Conversely, if someone seeks uniqueness, offer them exclusivity, speak to their ego, tell them only the rare and clever can see what you see, and they will believe not because it's true, but because it aligns with how they want to see themselves. The mind is not a fortress, it is a garden. Whatever you plant, be it doubt, admiration, fear, ambition, will grow if you nurture it subtly. Speak to people in stories, metaphors, rhythms they can feel. Rational arguments can be debated. Emotional truths become lived realities. The deeper you understand the structure of someone's internal world, the easier it becomes to reshape it from the inside. Perception is the most powerful currency in human interaction. It shapes reality, alters decisions, and often carries more weight than truth itself. What people see and believe becomes the world they act in, even if that perception is entirely manufactured. The one who understands this does not need to be the strongest, the most skilled, or even the most moral. They only need to control the lens through which others view the world, and more importantly, how others view them. When you master perception, you master behavior, and when you master behavior, control becomes effortless. In every group, in every relationship, people are constantly evaluating, asking themselves questions like, can I trust this person? Do they know what they're doing? Are they someone I should follow or oppose? But they rarely seek deep evidence for their conclusions. Instead, they rely on cues, tone of voice, posture, timing, language, confidence. Appear strong, and people will assume you are. Speak with certainty, and others will begin to doubt their own doubts. People are visual, emotional creatures who cling to certainty. If you project clarity and command, they will mistake it for truth. Even if your words are hollow, the trick lies not in appearing flawless, but in appearing deliberate. Nothing should feel accidental. When you speak, pause strategically. Let silence hang where emotion needs to sink in. Speak less, but with weight. People often confuse mystery with wisdom. If they don't understand you, but you appear calm and intentional, they will assume you understand more than you let on. Let their imagination do the heavy lifting. Give them just enough information to build an image, then allow them to finish it in their own minds. The image they create will be far more powerful than anything you could forcefully project. Control is rooted in how others frame your identity. If they see you as a leader, they will defer to you. If they see you as trustworthy, they will lower their defenses. If they see you as dangerous, they will avoid crossing you. And once that frame is established, it becomes extremely hard to break. People rarely revisit their initial perceptions unless forced to. That's why your first impression must be engineered with precision. Dress not for your comfort, but for the message you wish to send. Speak not from emotion, but from intention. Every signal you send should serve the narrative you are crafting. Perception can also be manipulated by association. If people see you surrounded by competence, they will attribute that competence to you. If you are seen with power, your own influence appears to grow. Human beings are tribal by instinct. They assign value based on proximity to perceived status. Use this, align yourself with the successful, be seen in environments of influence, borrow credibility until you generate your own. This is not deception, it is strategy. The world will treat you based on how it interprets you, not necessarily who you are. Equally important is how you handle failure or challenge. If you appear shaken, uncertain, or defensive, others will sense blood in the water. But if you reframe setbacks as strategy, you reassert dominance over the narrative. I planned for this, This is part of the process. This only proves how close we are to success. These are not just phrases, they are anchors that stabilize perception. When people believe you are unbreakable, they begin to lean on your certainty, and in doing so, they make you their psychological anchor. Control perception, and you can bend reality. You can turn threats into opportunities. You can make people admire your restraint instead of your aggression. You can make them forgive your flaws because they believe your intentions are pure. You can command a room without raising your voice. The illusion becomes the truth because no one is looking to break it. They're too comforted by it, too emotionally invested in it. If perception is the house, then belief is the lock on the door. Subtle cues shape powerful impressions. Speak with the rhythm of confidence, make direct eye contact, move with purpose, and carry yourself as if the outcome is already decided. People respond not to what is said, but to the way it is said. Even when your logic is flawed, if your delivery carries certainty, people will question themselves before they question you. That is the silent force of influence, not through domination, but through psychological suggestion. The most skillful manipulators understand how to cloak themselves in layers of perception. They become what the other person needs to see. To some, they appear as protectors, to others as visionaries, to others still as humble partners. This shapeshifting isn't dishonesty, it's advanced strategy. People follow those who reflect their hopes, who make them feel seen, and who make the world seem more manageable. If you become that image, you become indispensable. The art of subtlety and strategy always outweighs strength when it comes to controlling and manipulating people. Raw power might achieve quick compliance, but it breeds resistance, resentment, and eventual rebellion. Subtlety, on the other hand, moves beneath the surface. It works in shadows, through implication rather than instruction, through influence rather than imposition. When you use strategy instead of force, people don't even realize they are being led. They walk into your plans willingly, believing every step is their own idea, their own choice, their own truth. This is the highest form of power, not control through fear, but control through belief. Subtlety begins with restraint. The manipulator who reveals too much, who speaks too often, who tries too hard to dominate, exposes their intentions. Once people feel controlled, they instinctively resist even if the control is in their best interest. But when control is invisible, people become loyal, even grateful. Subtlety requires you to silence your ego. It is not about being recognized as powerful, it is about achieving the result. A whisper can do more than a shout if spoken at the right time, in the right ear. Let others take credit if necessary, so long as they carry out your plan. Strategy requires thinking several moves ahead. Most people operate in the present, reacting to situations as they arise. To truly manipulate, you must see beyond the immediate. Every conversation, every gesture, every decision is a piece on the board. You are not playing checkers, you are playing chess. Plant ideas now that will blossom later. Nudge someone toward a choice today that will make them dependent on you tomorrow. Don't force behavior, design environments, engineer incentives, shape narratives. Strategy doesn't push, it pulls. It invites, it seduces. One of the most effective strategic tools is the illusion of choice. Give people two options, both of which lead to the outcome you desire. They will feel autonomous, empowered, even grateful, never realizing that both roads were set by you. When people believe they've arrived at a conclusion independently, they defend it fiercely. They argue for the idea you gave them as if it were born in their own mind. This is not deception, it is direction. It is more powerful than command because it builds emotional investment. Strategic manipulation also relies heavily on timing. Saying the right thing at the wrong moment kills momentum, but patience allows influence to settle. Don't rush transformation. Wait until the target is emotionally primed. When they are uncertain, afraid, excited, or craving clarity, people are most open to influence when they feel unstable. A moment of vulnerability is not an accident. It is an opportunity. Strike only when the soil is fertile. Influence delivered too early feels like manipulation. Influence delivered precisely feels like wisdom. Another vital component of subtle control is leverage. Everyone has something to lose, something to protect, something they need. Your task is to identify that need, and then become the gatekeeper to it. This does not require threats. Leverage is most effective when it is implied. You become the bridge between where they are and where they want to go. Once they believe they need you to achieve their goals, you have control without ever raising your voice. Dependency is a silent contract, and it is nearly unbreakable if built over time. Distraction is another powerful strategy. People cannot resist what they do not notice. While they are focused on your surface, you reshape the foundation. Give them something to talk about, argue over, or chase. While the real decision is made elsewhere, attention is limited, redirect it, and you control the space where real power moves. Never show your full intent. Use decoys, play the fool if needed. Underestimation is a strategic weapon. When people do not see you as a threat, you are free to operate without resistance. Done strategically is another silent weapon. Not the obvious kind that insults their intelligence, but the kind that subtly affirms the image they already hold of themselves. Tell them what they secretly want to believe. If they see themselves as bold, praise their courage. If they pride themselves on intellect, seek their advice. Make them feel seen, validated, superior, and they will open doors you could never have forced open. People are far more willing to be led by those who make them feel powerful. The most advanced manipulation through subtlety is to create a narrative. Humans are not driven by facts, they are driven by stories. We are creatures of meaning, and we attach ourselves to causes, to patterns, to myths. Frame your influence as part of a larger story, a mission, a transformation, a fight for something greater. Make people feel they are part of that story and that you are its guide. They will follow, not just with obedience, but with passion. True manipulation does not look like manipulation. It looks like inspiration, friendship, opportunity, guidance. Strategy makes people walk willingly into cages with open doors. Subtlety makes them lock those doors themselves. And once inside, they won't even realize it, because they feel free. That is the genius of influence through strategy over strength. When done right, there is no resistance, only allegiance.